Hi guys, I'm going to take a look at Putin and the economy of with the ruble continuing to fall and just to see what it is we need to know and be aware of with regard to Putin, see what the cards have to say. So that's what I first asked is what do we need to know about Putin and leaving it to spirit, to spiritual mentors to convey through the cards. So let's see what we get. Well, we're getting the restriction. And here's the pair card of the Page of Cups. To me, this is sanctions and some unexpected, I think, issues where he's going to find himself further feeling stuck. All right. Bit of a surprise coming, and more stuff that makes him feel trapped. Okay. He's getting the Fool. So he's a big risk taker. Let's see what he gets paired with it, and that is the Passionate Knight of Wands. So I see him taking a big risk that is current for him, what is going to be immediately. Um, there's a feeling that he's stuck, and we see him respond by taking a bigger risk, like doubling down. We're getting the Queen of Swords. I wonder if this is that banking, the woman, the head of the bank. I think maybe because she's paired with the Knight of Pentacles, very slow moving. I think he's going to be taking some big risks that could affect his economy. I see the economy doing, not performing well. I think the lady at the bank is trying to keep the economy's head above water. I don't know how long that will last because it just keeps diminishing. We're getting the watchful surveillance card, the spy card of the Page of Swords, can also be the paranoia card, and we're getting ruthlessness. I worry for her, that woman banker. Um, I believe that we're going to see more people, honestly, with these two cards, falling out of windows and balconies and what have you. I do. There's just an absolute ruthless paranoia that is covering him. It's like a cloud over him. We have the Three of Cups. There's wanting to celebrate. I think it's putting on the public good face, maybe the holidays coming up. But I wonder with this World card, and I think acting like they've got enough that they're doing just fine. But this is also a completion, an ending. It's the last card in the deck. Hmm. It might be the last, I don't know, time he has to celebrate. Something like that. This is people needing help and really doing poorly and it getting worse for people because the majority of people are not well to do. That's the upper 1%, probably even less than that. And we're looking at Russia itself, the economy, the women, the older women, the mothers, because again, we've got a lot of women that have lost their spouses. And we're looking at, I think, just in general, people needing help. So I think the economy is going to continue to go down. When, Buttercup agrees. I need a break here. We're getting the King of Cups paired with Judgment. To me, this is Biden coming up in his reading, holding him to account. There's no quarter. There's just nothing. But you're going to be in trouble. I'm going to call you out and expose the egg on your face and holding you to account. This might also be, although I rather doubt it because I've not seen anyone since Navalny speak out really against him. Therefore, I tend to believe that this is my Biden card, perhaps coming up and showing Biden continuing to hold his feet to the fire, not letting up, doing what he can do to make sure that even when he leaves, it continues to be difficult. Not going to do them any favors. Putin has got a decision, and he doesn't know, perhaps yet, which one to make. Yes, this is his card. And maybe it's in connection to Trump, because they are both air signs. Putin is a Libra, and with a Scorpio moon, I believe. Trump, of course, is a Gemini. I'm blanking on his moon. I'll have to double check that later and put it in the comments. So I feel like this is a bit of a flash to both Trump and Putin here with Biden. And I feel that Putin isn't certain about Trump. There's holding off on a decision. And maybe this is Trump holding off on a decision making that he will make concerning Putin. We're getting the delusion, the gaslighting, misinformation, the fantasy card paired. That's the Eight of Cups. I'm sorry, the Seven of Cups. I always do that. With the Three of Wands. And this goes overseas. So I think he's looking across at America for sure and trying to stir up more disinformation or confusion. And in other countries outside of his already very large country that he cannot make do well because he's such a crook. So he's looking to continue to fiddle, I think, or to try to in the future of other places to destabilize and confuse. I also think where Trump is concerned, more word salad. Um, and I think letting Trump believe certain fantasies, just letting it run unchecked. He's all for that. I mean, he couldn't get a better plant, really. We're getting the Eight of Wands, so this is an acceleration coming up, energy picking up, things heating up, and Justice. So he needs to watch out here because this can also be the old karma coming to bite you on the butt. He's already gotten the card that looks to me like Biden looking to hold him to the fire, so to speak. And I believe perhaps the world court will finally get moving with something regarding him legally. Or perhaps this is looking at the United States, finally, perhaps in connection to Biden, declaring a legal aspect where Putin is concerned, namely that he helped Trump, was talking to Elon and Trump, probably still is. Now, he wants to be in the spotlight, but he's going to start facing backlash with, I think, more people taking to the streets like they are in the country of Georgia. I think you're going to see people in his own country also letting their displeasure be known. I think we're also getting a hit on a highlight to do with the wars that he's spread very thinly through. He's taking a lot of damage with his war um, in Ukraine, and he can't help Assad now. What he has coming, him pulling his energy up almost like for that last final time, not kidding, with the Nine of Wands and the Ten of Swords. And it looks like a painful defeat, a painful just drain of energy, losses. This to me feels like record losses. Mm. And that would be not only of Russian soldiers, but the people like North Korea as well, enduring those losses. There's a change coming, a change, I think, in the whole, what do you call that? Oh, I'm trying to think of that word. Let me see if I can find it, get back to you. It's going to drive me nuts. And I don't want to sit there going, oh. Right. Paradigm. That's the word I was looking for. I feel like there is a complete change coming. And it's karmic, I believe, just with all of the people he's targeted. And it's paired with trying to hold on to power, trying to keep control. And I think he's going to have that being pulled away from him. Also, a change where this economy is just getting worse. It has gone beneath the five, the declining five of Pentacles, all the way down to the four here, where he's just holding on. But there's change coming that's going to affect that for him. There's the five. And this is showing decline in living and economy, probably more people out on the streets, and it's quickened. This is very fast moving. It could also be an fast coming news of not only the economy in decline, going further in decline, but maybe also his health. Let's just see, because that Five of Pentacles can also be a warning about physical health. We're looking at the past and the Page of Wands. I think he's going to try to bring some that nostalgia, play up the nostalgia for people. He's going to try that hand of like, we're strong, we can make it, and never mind the fact that he's making them suffer. He's got the smug, he's all comfortable, he's all right, Jack, with the 9 of Cups. But everyone else is dealing with trying to juggle their finances, trying to survive, and it's unstable. It is not a steady economy. It's, I think, dipping down even lower or going to. It might bob up occasionally, but I think you're going to have that stormy economy. And I think he's going to try to play up nostalgia to get people not to demonstrate, but people are suffering. He wants to be the parade leader that wins the battle, that is acclaimed and given adulation and attention. But we're seeing the Ace of Swords. So who is winning or doing better, or there's going to be clarity. And I don't think it's going to be him. Like that, maybe that's what he'll be saying, but the truth, I think, is going to be revealed as to who's actually, holding out better. Here we have a lot of hard work going on. Also, look at the economy, trying to work on that, trying to make an effort. Great deal of emotion, I think, that's going to come out of people, the people that are trying to earn a living, and maybe some of the people that are better off, actually, starting to complain, or the more educated. God help them. And I get the feeling here too, they're going to be saying we're working twice as hard and we're just not able to make it. And it's really hard to live like this. Great deal of emotion there. There are secrets, hidden factors with the high priestess, things that haven't played out yet. And it's about independent wealth, the oligarchs, Putin's own personal wealth. So there's secrets yet to come out about his independent wealth and that of the people that he works with, serves, other than himself, the other wealthy. He's going to start to feel probably more alone here with the hermit. He might pull back because maybe they're going to start to want to look at his personal wealth or at people who are more wealthy. The more unhappy people get with the economy, and they're seeing the well-to-do are the only ones able to come through this. And there's that goes from the 9 to the 10 of Pentacles, and I feel like this is the wealthy pulling back and kind of hiding, if you will, probably from the majority who are struggling. But they could also end up coming under being looked at, or for people wanting to know where they are with the hermit, like looking for them and looking at the wealthy in their nation. All right. Here we have the setup, we have the hidden aspects, the uncertainty, and a great deal of depression. I think he's actually really depressed, and he knows that he's losing more than he's gaining, but he still stays there in that same position where I think he's gonna lose the final 2 cups. And this is Putin and his fears and uncertainty and his setups, his hidden plans and lies and that he covers up. But look at that. He gets the tower, and it's paired with the hanged man. So this indicates that there could be a disruptive uh, event that comes onto his timeline that affects him personally and creates possibly a delay with the hanged man, people looking at things also possibly differently with this event that is on the horizon that is disruptive. People falling out of windows. I don't know. It has the world watching. Of course, he has troops in different areas. This, I think, is part of that because he's been trying to be a bother in other elections in other countries and their wars. He's got his fingers in a lot of pies, and I think it's going to backfire. Yeah. We get the Four of Swords, so this is having to pull back from those other places. Really pull back. There could be that they're just losing too many and getting too many wounded, or those that are dying even from their wounds in his wars. This could be like an unexpected loss in that in the wars that he has going on, coming to a breaking point for sure. And it becomes like a just a sacrifice. I think of lives for nothing. Here we have the illumination of the sun paired with trying to overcome opposition, but it's highlighted. It could also be opposition trying to overcome or challenge his forces. That is going to come up. So I feel like the battles that his troops are involved are going to come back into the highlights, it's going to be spotlighted. And I think you're going to continue to have fierce battles. And he's just, I feel like nobody does great, but I think he in particularly is going to have an unpleasant surprise. I feel like this is Ukraine with the sunflower, queen of the sunflowers, I like to call her. They are giving it to him. They are stressing him out that front with that 10 of wands. It's overloaded him with stress. These are his partners that he has helping him. North Korea, was it? Iran. Um, oh, and they're worried. And he's worried, I think, about keeping his allies, getting that help. This is not sleeping. This is worry. This is anxiety over partnerships and agreements. So we see him struggling in Ukraine And Ukraine's having a hard time, but they are opening up on him and not giving him a moment to catch his breath. What I see coming. I just wish nobody had to fight this. It's dumb. Here we have the Seven of Pentacles. This is, I think, the goods and all these things that he is waiting for from North Korea and other places. I feel like perhaps this has been slowed down or there's a problem because of the cards, the two cards prior, of being anxious about partnerships, wanting to make sure he's got what he needs, planning. This is betrayal or hardship. So maybe he's going to be worried about being betrayed by them. I'm sure he is. And it looks like he probably will be. Again, we're getting the highlight of partnerships, agreements. Is this like the peace thing? And I'm getting the Chariot. This could also be looking at alliances, maybe not of his own, but of the other side, and making progress. So it kind of looks like at some point, his alliances are going to drop. And he's not going to have the materials, I think the goods, the Seven of Pentacles that he depends on. And there's going to be a great deal of feeling betrayed, maybe even stabbed in the back, so to speak, while another partnership seems to be making progress, moving forward. Yeah. And getting past the choppy water. And this is another leader. I don't feel like this is Putin. I feel like these are the male leaders, I think, that oppose him, making progress. And he's not, yeah, here's his corruption, his oppression, his lies, and it's paired with the magician, which is trying to manipulate and to manifest by whatever means possible what he needs or wants. But this time, he's going to be an ogre to do it. No more quote unquote Mr. Nice Guy. Maybe he'll get a bit snippet with his so called allies. He's ready to make someone suffer here because he doesn't feel like he's getting what he needs. We're getting that Queen of Cups again. Is this Kiev? I don't know. But I feel like this place is getting some benefit, some blessing, probably some support. Maybe this could be Georgia even. I don't know. He gets the death card. It's just not going to work out for him and his alliance with the three. So, you know how we had the Three of Swords where we were looking at his alliances? And prior to that, there was like the Two of Cups and the lovers and all that. To me, this is a failure of three working together on a common goal. There's loss, tremendous loss of power and control. Wow, I went through the whole deck there. All right. Now I'm going to take a look and see what we get with the investigation deck for him. Okay, let's take a look at Putin's health and whatever else comes up with the investigative deck by Trish James. Let's just see what we get. So I'm asking to know about Putin's health and how whatever it is we need to know. Sorry, we have a school across the street, so kids are at recess and they're having a great time. All right, let's see. What do we need to know about Putin, his health, and his overall success that he is trying to have in disrupting the West, taking over other nations? I just get that it's not going to work out for him. He's bitten off more than he can chew. But let's just see what we get with these cards, see what they want to say on Putin and his health and how things are going to go for him. And then I'm going to take a look at him and Trump and Elon. Let's just see what we need to know for right now. And I ask my spiritual mentors to guide me to read accurately and clearly on Putin with what we need to know about his health and what he's up to, how things look like they're going to go for him. Emperor. So here he is, I think, wanting to, well, it's definitely highlighting leadership paired with, I had to get away. Oh, he wants to get out of there. I think he wants to go to a hidey hole. I do. Maybe his palace. Wrong direction. That's pretty much everything he's chosen to do. But let's see what's paired with. Did not go to plan. Yeah, no kidding. So his whole thing, his whole war, his whole point of going into Ukraine shows to me, especially, is not going to go to plan, wrong direction. He's going to make critical mistakes. Here we get justice, law, and possible legal matters coming again for him. I'm looking at World Court, maybe NATO. Let's see what's paired with world. End of a situation or buried. So I believe the world is going to be looking at him for crimes that he's committing against other nations, their elections, meddling, creating problems, misinformation, hacking, all of that. I think he's going to be in trouble. That's going to kick up. So I'm thinking we need to also look at NATO. That's going to be the next reading I do. Again, wanting out. A lot of people are going to want out of there. I think that's also definitely inside job taken out. You know, that could be someone trying to send him to heaven or, well, or the other place. Person of interest. This makes me feel like people are planning maybe from the inside to take him out. He might think he's safe at some point. I'm safe now. There is a connection. Maybe they're going to want him to feel like he's safe so that he'll put his guard down. It's kind of a vibe I'm getting. Wanting him to have his vibe down and think he's safe. Not vibe, his guard down and think he's safe. Put in a room or a place. Deal organized. Maybe he has an agreement for his own protection with someone to go to a safe room, a safe house somewhere. But secrets of his are going to be exposed. I wonder if that includes where he's hiding, because I think he's going to go into hiding at some point. And he gets the tower. Ooh, chaos. And or in a building. Exposed secrets, tower, chaos, in a building. And we're getting, with the prior cards, that nod toward a building or a special place, a deal being made. And I feel like he's trying to save his own skin. Death, ending. So I think if he tries to go to a safe house of some kind, they're going to figure out where it is, and he's going to be done away with. Inside job. This is the burden being carried and death. I think the burden will end because he will no longer be on the planet. Someone is going to take him out and not to lunch. So there's resilience and slow process. Person is known. I think he's going to know who is behind it at the end of the day. But he's going, I think, to be finished. I think it could be a place that undergoes some kind of very intense effort to get to him at the very least. Feel like he's going to try to go into a hiding again. I want to reiterate that, and it looks like that's going to be a big undoing. I think he's going to be found. Yeah. Hidden clues and a breakthrough with the star here, and the moon before that was a something hidden or unclear. So something where I think they're going to get clarity on wherever he may be or be hiding at some point, and I think that's the end. There's showing of alcohol, drugs, or blood, and a web of lies. I'm going with especially the blood and the web of lies, because he's lied about so many things where people have died that he's been behind and done things. Wars, shooting down civilian aircraft, um, going into various different nations. I think some of the events on his in within Russia, he's that have been destructive. He's done it, seen that before, to blame and try and get people to you know support him, feel like they need him. Body is hidden. Maybe his body will be hidden, especially if something gets like that building where there's just a hole blown through. Um, Marks left behind. So that's going to leave a mark. Distraction. Everything is not as it seems. Unaware of surroundings. To me, this could also be like the shock. Suspicious activity and rumors behind your back. So I do. I think what he has coming is a definite end. Moonvac Buttercup agrees. Um, so far, it's looking like it's a good possibility that he will try to go to a safe house of some kind or a safe place gets found out, ended. And possibly could be difficult to maybe find his body. I hate to be so, but that's what came up. And that there's maybe going to be some means of tracking where he might be found at some point, I think, after something's happened. And it looks to be huge. It's a big event. All right. So let's take a look at the other part of this with Trump and Elon. I'm going to shuffle my cards and put this on pause so you don't have to listen to too long of that. Okay, let's take a look at Putin and Trump and Elon. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to use the Tarot of the United States of Tarot card deck. They have extra cards in here, so there's more than just 78 cards in this deck. There's extras. Let's see what we get. Give it a good shuffle. What do we need to know about Putin, Elon, and Trump? And what have they been talking about? Are they going to be exposed? I think they are. And they're going to have other issues as well. Like Elon, I see as at least Tesla, and I think the X media, social media, he gets cards that his businesses could fail, or there could be a problem there. So let's just see. What do we need to know about Putin, Trump, and Elon? What do we need to know about these three? Putin, Trump, and Elon. I asked my guides especially to help me read using this deck accurately and clearly. What do we need to know about them together? What is on the horizon for the three of them, especially given the communication that they say they're in with each other? So, what is coming for Trump, Putin, and Elon? What do we need to know? What do we need to know about that, guides? All right, gonna give it a try here with this deck. Well, we get Justice again, and we got Ruth, and she's not messing around. I also feel like, is this a nod toward women in law that can bring this to a head legally? So we get Justice, and there's issues of justice coming for the three of them. We get the Two of Wands. This is like the deal. To me, this is Trump and Putin for sure. And we get the Two of Wands, and they're trying to reach overseas, get whatever benefit they can to expand. And it's this that gets them in trouble. We're getting the Hierophant. This is counsel that will be given, or guidance, or rules, or authority about how to do things. Again, laws that apply, because we did have Justice. We did have Ruth Bader Ginsburg pop up. And we had the Hangman. And that is paired with counsel. So there is maybe some kind of counsel that brings a delay, or even that there's going to be some kind of a Sacrifice? I don't know. Look, the flag is flying upside down. I believe that there is discussion, advice going on about America's problem with Trump and Elon consorting with someone that hates America, a leader that's not friendly toward America. It's stupid. It's a big risk. And I think it's not going to end well for any of them. I feel like there will be people in legal uh, positions of authority that are going to come for them. Oh my gosh, here's Elon coming up in his own reading. And with his, hey, Putin, look at what I can do. Aren't I cool? Aren't I cool, Putin? Ha, 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 ha. Oh, he's so annoying. But look at him. Coming up in his own reading with Putin and Trump. I think he's trying to sell something overseas there to Putin. The Ten of Wands. But there's a great deal of stress. There's an overload of work. So I don't think this is going to quite take off the way Elon would like. And yes, I do think him popping up in his own reading is not for nothing. He's showing up, showing what he's up to. He's trying really hard, I think, to sell his probably technology and whatnot to Putin, or to say that I can use it for our benefit, for their common. Yes. And here we have, now this is supposed to be Cohen from this is made out in 2016. Here, this is supposed to be Cohen, but this is someone that's trying to get away with something, sneaking away. And yes, they are. Putin, Elon, and Trump trying to get away with stuff. What is it paired with? Oh, and don't forget, we have the White House with the Russian dome. There's that Tesla and the Eight of Pentacles. This is that technology, using that technology in a hidden fashion. And this before showed Elon working hard, trying to impress him with his technology and say, look what I can do. Oh, but they're not going to count on a fight or conflict. Now, this is Giuliani and Chris Christie duking it out, but it just goes to show, I think, that there could be some, some conflict with the three that's going to come up. What's it paired with? It's paired with Justice, the other ding dong, uh, not so smart Kavanaugh, right? With his beer. Yeah. And the young lady. Mm-hmm. And that pairs up, to me, this is saying they're starting to throw each other under the bus. So I feel like Elon, Putin, and Trump could start having some problems, and there could be legal issues for what they were all involved in that's going to come back. And I think they're going to try and fail to secure themselves in trying to fend off or fight off justice that's coming. I just don't think that that will work out. We get the Nine of Wands. They're haunted by John McCain, who's probably going, I think the three of you ought to get in some trouble. I'm going to send some eyes to watch you. And we have the Nine of Wands. This is about boundaries, I think appropriate protection so that people don't overstep. And I just feel like we got some backstabbing going on here. There's going to be loss. It's paired with the Five of Cups. And this, again, highlights, I think, division and fraction within the United States. And if we have Trump, we're going to have loss. So I think that there's an effort to try to keep America safe from the three of them. And the people that are foolish enough to believe the division that Trump has stirred up, all through Putin. So they've supported a traitor. I feel like this is also people trying to confront them. We're getting the Eight of Wands. So there will be a picking up and a quickening of energy and activity around, I think, investigating, looking for hidden criminal activity. Now, this hermit's also holding a staff that deals with what is that? Oh, I'm blanking on it, but the two snakes, the health, with usually a lion's head and wings here. So for me, this is like the three of them will try to pull back and make sure that they're in a place that's safe for them. I think they're also going to try and hide things, but I think the other aspect is there's going to be people looking for these things. And the looking for heats up in my book to find the hidden aspects of what the three of them have been up to. We get the Princess of Swords. I feel like this is various means of digital footprint, um, investigation, looking at communication, connected to the Princess of Wands. And that's Kamala card. So I believe that legally there's going to be trouble for these guys, all three of them. And that energy picks up for them being looked at very, very deeply, but quietly with that hermit. And they're going to try and pull back so they're not figured out. But the Fool, they are going to continue to do stupid things and take big, big, dumb risks. Pairs with the Magician. There's the other two. So now the other two have popped up in the reading. Putin and Trump, his puppet. So the three of them are going to go off a cliff, in my opinion. And face legal issues. This is going to be very ending for them. Death. As I say that, there is an ending. And in some cases, it might actually actually be end of life. We get a chariot. It's going to progress. It's going to move. It's going to come. So it's telling me death and an ending are coming to Putin, Trump, and Elon. Wheel of Fortune. This is karmic. What comes around goes around. And when it comes back around, it can surprise you. Paired with independent wealth and comfort lifestyle. Money, lots of it. Go on, changing. You're not. This gets affected. Here we have the King of Swords. And this time, this is Obama. All right, so let's see. We get usually the King of Swords for me would be Putin or Trump because they're air signs. But we get the Five of Swords. So this is the backstabbing stuff. And the story behind this card is kind of funny in a way. This is Scaramucci, who's just beat the bricks off of Prince Priebus, the guy he really didn't like. And we have the Five of Swords. This is, you have to be kind of ruthless in dealing with these people. So I see a ruthlessness. And despite the fact that we have Obama on this card, I think that it would represent, for me, um, Putin and Trump and backstabbing going on. And there's really some issues, I think, also with like Elon and Trump. There could be some turning on each other, and definitely Putin and them turning on each other. So let's just see what else we get. The Three of Pentacles. Well, this is usually about, again, three people or three significant powers that are working together. And they are. So we're being shown them together. And we get the Queen of Wands. Well, is this Ukraine? Maybe what they were planning for it. There's the Ten of Pentacles. And this is the Kennedy wedding with Jacqueline Bouvier right there. JFK. No RFK, though. Bobby's in the picture. And Kennedy Sr. So it's a lot of money. Maybe they're talking about helping him out against Ukraine with a lot of money. Yeah, and there's an offer or surprise with the Prince of Cups. Maybe not, throwing an idea out there of what they could send or give him so that they could rise again out of the ashes. Like what would help? The devil. They're going to be exposed. Here we have Bannon, deceiver. This to me is definitely in connection, I think, also to just the disruption and chaos, not only, excuse me, in Ukraine, but in America, and turning people against each other, especially appealing to white nationalists and racism and pushing cruelty and divide. Okay. Now, paired with that devil is the Two of Swords. Hmm. Having a hard time, I think, to enact what they want to. I think maybe with supplies for Russia against Ukraine. It's corrupt, it's oppressive, it's wrong. That sounds about right for the three of them. This is decline. The three of them get cards of decline. And the Eight of Swords. This is restriction. I'm getting another flash with restriction with sanctions. I don't think they're going to be able to move any sanctions or to affect them. And I think that the people of Russia are still going to be in dire straits. And I don't think they're going to be able to give Putin what he wants or wanted to use against Ukraine. What else do we need to know? Oh, look, there's Moscow Mitch sitting there with his turtle, holding on. This is about power and control, holding on. Doesn't necessarily mean that Mitch is highlighted, but just take note. And it's paired with the High Priestess. So forward into the light. Votes for women. Maybe this is the aspect where they're trying to control women's rights and just have power, or and the secrets of what they're doing will come out in trying to keep control with the efforts that they're willing to go to, that they go to a traitor. And it's going to come out. You see here? Get the Three of Cups. And we're getting oh gosh. Can't believe I'm blanking on his name. I'll come back to it. The late night talk show host. With the Three of Cups, social. King of Cups. Here they show Bush Jr., but this could also be for me my Biden card, and it could be some kind of social connecting. It looks more positive for him. Could be a celebration, even with that Three of Cups. The Seven of Pentacles. I feel like their plans are going to be taken. I think they're going to be found. I think they're going to find out enough information with the Seven of Pentacles of what they're planning. Yeah. The Ace of Swords, there'll be clarity with that. I think some things that they had talked about. And I think Joe is going to possibly still bring something home to him to deal with. They get the Prince of Swords. This is Kushner. But forgetting that, it's also to do with surveillance, watchfulness, things or news moving very quickly. And we get the Six of Pentacles. This is the help, the agreement to give help, especially like financially or to benefit uh, each other in some way. So I do think that's going to get looked into. And none of the three of them are going to fare well. We have death, we have an ending. Here we have the Four of Wands and the Six of Cups. We have Obama and Biden, the home country, highlighted with the Four of Wands and the Six of Cups. This can be the past. So the past, I think they work together. Somehow maybe on this, maybe he will ask Obama for some advice. It wouldn't surprise me. We have the Queen of Swords. We have Hillary there potentially, at least a female energy that is very down, smart with the laws and things like that. This could also be Kamala. And we get that Eight of Cups, where both women had to walk away. He cheated. These men, with the exception of Elon, I don't think he didn't have anything to do with the first election that Trump stole from Hillary. But I think that that's going to be brought out, that these last two elections were stolen with Trump and Putin's shenanigans and getting other people like Elon in to help them. I also get strength, persistence, and the Tower. I think that these three are going to lose their strength, their capital, their freedom. Maybe even Putin and Trump could be issues with, let's just say, health and staying around in a body. Okay. I'm going to leave it just right there because I think that's enough for now. Ooh, at an hour already. Well, this was a deep dive. So, it looks like they're going to get in trouble for working together. Oh, I know. I do want to see. I do want to see how um, Putin feels about Trump and Elon. Let's see. How does Putin view, with what regard does Putin have for Trump and Elon? And how will he continue to um, interact with them and respond to them? How does Putin truly feel about Trump and Elon? Let's just see what we get with the dynamics of these three. What is the dynamic? How do they feel? How does Putin feel, especially toward Trump and Elon? And how is he going to treat them at the end of the day? Let's see what we get. Well, there's counsel. Okay. And instruction. Look at that. The devil mocking the light. What represents the light? So to me, he puts on like he's like an okay guy, right? That he's above board, but he's not. That shows up. There's the message there. And I think he knows that this is a dirty, corrupt behavior. And I think that he's receiving guidance, but he wants to make sure that he has them under his thumb and that they don't see through his intentions, which are not good. He doesn't care for them. He does not care. He is the devil who puts on like he is the Hierophant, like he's a helper, and he's not. And he knows that they're conmen as well. I think he's enthusiastic to hear from them. I think they reach out to him more with the Page of Wands and the Emperor because he is the dictator that I think Putin and I'm sorry, Trump and Elon, I feel like look up to. If you look at these cards together. And I think these are the ones before. I think Putin knows that and works it to his advantage that they look up to him. So he wants to keep them on their knee. Now, here is some action that's going to be taken with a lot of fire behind it, energy, the three of them. So I feel like they've had some very lively conversations and actions, what they were planning to do. I think, again, with the election, how they could serve uh, each other and help each other out, for sure. But he looks down his nose at them. He doesn't trust them, and he just wants to get what he can for his defense, for, I think, the wars that he's engaged in. And I think he wants some kind of benefit for them to cheat and help him with, I don't know how they do it, but I'm sure that they can figure out some way to help him get an edge where his fighting, especially, is concerned. And as I say that, the Ukraine, my card for Ukraine comes up, and the Hermit. I feel like that's looking into secret things that they are planning for Ukraine, sneaking in. What can they get away with? Keeping it quiet, trying to keep that private. But it's going to get exposed with the sun. And that overseas communication for the future, for trying to, I think, get something going, get something to expand, uh, also overseas, period, in other places, gets exposed. They were trying to keep it secret in connection to the Ukraine. This could be Putin or Trump or both. And the Fool. They're going to take once again, they're too foolish. They take too big of a risk. This is a warning. And things then move very quickly with the Knight of Swords. This could be haste and it's confusion. It can also be like you're Trump just acting cuckoo, losing it. Somebody really looking a fool. So if it isn't Trump, it would be Putin. I'm betting it's probably going to be Trump because I'm asking, what does he think of him? I think Trump is going to make some big bone head mistake here. I do. With that haste of the Knight of Swords and the Seven of Cups. Maybe he's under the influence of some medications. And where abundance is concerned, and perhaps where Russia and the abundance that it's seeking, there's instability still. So I don't think that they're going to help him the way that he's wanting, and especially to do with Ukraine. There's instability. I just don't think that they can quite get it to manifest completely. Something is going to fall apart there. I think also the relationship with the Two of Pentacles indicates there's going to be a falling out among the three of them. Again, there's that request for help and walking away. Whoops, I didn't hear you. Door slam. So I think he's going to feel like he's just got to move on, that he's been abandoned. That 3 goes down to a 2, and he's looking at maybe losing grip on influence over the world or over other nations. And it's a wee bit of a surprise with the Page of Cups. In decline still. Maybe he's going to realize that also Trump's having problems with health, mental issues. And the Ten of Swords. So there's letting go, a loss, a release. It's not going to work out between the three of them. I'm going to leave it there, y'all. You can let me know what you think down below in the comments. And next reading I will be looking at is NATO. And I'll be bringing in some other readings like on true crime and things like that just to offset so much of the politics here soon. But I will keep up because I do feel like until we have more a clear idea about what's happening, I'm here for you. Okay? With the cards. So that is another confirmation that those three are going to go down the tubes. It's just not going to work out at the end of the day for them. All right. I'm leaving it there. If you appreciate readings like this, please give me a thumbs up and help me with my algorithm and get my little channel out there. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.